Hello friends, it's Jade here, just gonna talk to you about what I'm drawing as I draw it. Today I wanted to try something different, and so I wanted to try and emulate one of my favorite artists from Instagram. His name is Jimmy Knives. You should go look him up. I really dig his art. So it was going to be a challenge because I'm not a cartoonist. I don't normally draw cartoons per se. It's really hard for me actually to draw these cute little weird characters, but that's like all Jimmy Knives does really. He does all kinds of these weird characters that kind of look like toys or like retro video game characters. So it's kind of a challenge for me. So I originally was going to draw her standing, as you can see, but you can also see that I am struggling to make that look right. I've struggled with her feet a lot. I feel like her little body is kind of like the same style as that of like a chibi. I was never good at drawing chibis. Like, I tried really hard too back in middle school, but I was never good at it. Their squat little bodies. Anyways, I got it figured out eventually though. One thing I knew was that I really wanted her to be holding some kind of really cute melee weapon, because that is something Jimmy Knives drawings almost always have, is a big cute weapon. So I didn't know what to give her though, because she's kind of turning out to be like a space themed little thing. And I didn't want to draw a space gun though, because I don't like the look of that. I wanted a melee weapon in particular. So I asked my boyfriend what I should do, and he was like, oh, well, you should give her a power sword. And a power sword is a kind of weapon from a franchise he really likes called Warhammer 40k. He's like, you should do a power weapon because they're like kind of techy, so it's not as weird to give it to a space character. So like, okay, dope. So he showed me what that looks like, and I recreated it here for her. She'll slice your dick off with her battery-powered sword. But yeah, so I gave her this little helmet and whatnot, so she wound up totally being like a space cadet of some sort. This thing I'm drawing right here across her chest, I have no idea what that is, so I don't know. It's ammo, I guess? Ammo doesn't look like that. I have no idea. Yeah, so this is like my fourth or fifth thing that I've ever made with Krita. Also, I don't know how to pronounce it. In my head, I say Krita. I think other people say Krita. Anyways, it's actually only my fourth or fifth thing I've ever made using a computer, period. I'm mostly a traditional artist, but I'm trying to change that and get up to speed with using a computer to make art. It's really cool. I'm enjoying the advantages for sure, but it's definitely taken me a while to get a feel for it. So I made her have these twinkly little eyes because there were really like two pieces of Jimmy Knives that I was really looking at to try and emulate. And one of them is like this little bunny or kitty character. It's on his Instagram, but she has these big sparkly eyes. And she has like a giant axe. It's adorable. And right here, I'm struggling with the shadows on her. Because originally I was going to make the spacesuit white, because I was going to kind of use the same color scheme as Nuka-Cola Girl from Fallout. Because she's like retro space themed, right? So I was going to be like, oh, she's going to have like a white suit and red stuff, like red accents, which would have been cute, but decided against it. Because I actually decided to try and do a very Jimmy Knives-esque color scheme. One that he uses a lot is pink and red and yellow, which I love the look of. It looks really like acidic. So I actually decided to do that for her. Doing this little challenge that I challenged myself to, was cool because it helped me with color palettes in general. Something I struggle with, I'd say probably the thing I struggle with the most is coloring stuff and picking the colors for things. When I draw stuff in, like, not using a computer, I always lament how the art looked better before I colored it. And I should have just left it black and white because it always looks like garbage after I colored it. But I think that my problem is that I try to use too many different colors and I don't have a good understanding of what colors look good together. And so when it's done, it just doesn't look cohesive at all. But all of Jimmy's stuff all looks very cohesive, so this was a good exercise in using few colors. And this method that I'm using to add detail to the sword is something that I saw him do on his weapons on the two pieces of work that I was looking at. Also, I found it hard to draw this helmet. I was kind of just having to imagine this helmet because I couldn't really find a reference picture for what I was going for. And here I'm just adding some details to the weapon because he does very detailed weapons. He puts like little studs and spikes and stuff like that all over him, which is cool. I actually tried to copy the way that he draws spikes. I like the way he draws them. Took a while to get right though. Oh yeah, so like I have an Asus touchscreen laptop that I fold into a tablet and I draw on the tablet, which I love. It's really cool, but I can't lay my hand down or else it'll fuck up. Am I allowed to say fuck on YouTube? Anyways, like, it like will paint or scroll or just do something that I didn't want it to do if I lay my hand down, which it's really hard to draw stuff without laying my hand down. So if you have something like that, if you have like a touchscreen that you draw on of any kind, like an iPad or an Asus laptop or whatever, let me know in the comments how you fixed that. Like the program doing unwanted things when you lay your wrist down to draw. Yeah, because since there was no reference, I kind of just had to make up the shadows, and I'm not good at knowing where shadows would be without using a reference. So I just kind of had to make it up. Let's give her some more studs. Studded belt. Very cute. I ended up posting this on my Instagram, which is altargirl.jpg, if you wish to check it out. But I posted this on there and I tagged Jimmy Knives, and he was like the second person to like it and comment, which totally made my week. It was dope. He said he loved it. I'm so glad. I really like how her little go-go boots came out. I think they're cute. I'd wear those. He gives them a lot of little bandages and stuff. So, I'm doing that too. Just trying to give it a little more detail, make it a little more interesting. Something else he does is like I said, he makes the weapons really detailed, and one way that he does that is by doing lots of little cracks and chips. So I'm adding all of that to mine, which I think came out looking really cool. I actually loved drawing her sword. He also puts like a lot of little bandages everywhere, so try to do that too. Alright. And then I went with like a really light peach colored background, just something that wouldn't clash with or draw away from this color palette we used, which has a lot going on. And since I'm new, I still don't really have the hang of working with layers. So, one thing that Jimmy Knives does, but I also do, is add little sparkles everywhere. I'm glad he does that, 'cause I just always do that anyway. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. Go check out his Instagram. Bye.